We're back. I'm Gary Goldman. I'm the host of the Five Star Food Show, part of the Radio Entrepreneurs Network. We're at the accounting firm of Gray, and Gray. Our gracious host in Canton, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for having us today. Anyways, we're going to be chatting very shortly with one of the directors of the food restaurant industry end of the accounting firm of Gray, and Gray, Frank McClaughlin. Welcome, Frank.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, glad you could have us. This is wonderful. So anyways, been talking a little bit with Mark earlier, and we wanted to try to get into some of the initiatives and the kinds of things you're doing in the technology end of your practice that really distinguishes Gray, and Gray as an accounting firm from other firms.
Yeah, no, great. I mean, let's be honest. Technology is moving at a rapid pace and is constantly changing. And I think that the restaurateurs can see this every day by the POS systems and the amount of POS systems that are coming out into the marketplace and what they can bring to what they offer and what their differentiators are. And honestly, when you look at that, you say, hey, I can get this cloud-based software in my POS system giving me that data on my phone. You really want to pair that and marry that to an accounting software that can do the same, and being able to get that data, because the POS system has one part of it. It could do some payroll for you if you put the payroll in, but it's not always going to be correct because of some salaried people and people you have on salary. But you need to know what your costs are and what are your expenses, and that's where the accounting system comes in, so that you.
So you as a firm would go in with a client. First of all, you'd make an analysis of the situation, see what their needs are, lay out what the costs are, and obviously what the benefits. How would the whole process work?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. We'd come into your restaurant and we would say, all right, tell me how you do things. What's the POS system you're using? How are you interacting? How's that POS system interacting with your accounting software? Are you outsourcing that accounting? What other products could you use or are you using with that software? So for example, and then from there, what we do is we put a menu together for you. And it would be, here is the most streamlined process that we can come up with, where that information is readily available all the time, to maybe some more cost-effective measures, and giving that restaurateur the option on, hey, this is what you get for this and this is what you get for that, and letting them make that decision. There's some really great softwares out there. I mean, there's softwares where you can have the vendors send the invoice directly to the software. It gets approved by the manager in the restaurant virtually. It can be then paid virtually, and you never have to touch that invoice ever. And that can really speed up the process and get that information into your software very quickly.
And what about people that have multiple locations and they still want to do this type of management? Is there some way that it can all be linked together, so you could be like keeping control via your phone or whatever, or what was happening in 10 different ones at the same time? Or how does the whole process work?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's exactly how it works. We set up that general ledger software, that POS system, to integrate holistically with that POS, so you can go into your general ledger, see how your whole organization is doing, to a group of restaurants, to one single restaurant, and how it did on that day. So it allows you if you have the internet, to get all that information pretty quickly. Now, the great thing about that integration is you can get that data pulled in, at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, so of that day's sales, so you can understand how you did. And then,
so you can react immediately, as opposed to, and you see trends that are happening, as opposed to waiting a couple of days and then it's already too late.
Yeah, right. And it allows you to, speed up the process. So before, monthly P&Ls were important. Now you can kind of go to a weekly P&L. How did I do that week? Especially if you dovetail that with inventory counts and being able to get those costs right in line with what you're doing. Now, some of the time constraints to do that doesn't make sense, but you have that option when I don't think you did before.